Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in. I'm Sargel18, Episode 43 of Unchained. Let's take a little talk about the drones that everybody's seeing over New Jersey and around the country. Alright, this is just an informal video. If you noticed, I have not been doing videos in the last I think 9 or 10 days because I haven't been here. I was called into action as Sergeant 18, and I'll talk about that. Alright, so let's talk about the drones. Everybody wants to know about the drones. First off, I wasn't even interested in the drones. Not at all. I didn't even ask Devron about them because I knew exactly what had happened. And I thought about doing a video on it, but then I was like, I can't put a video out on every single event in Revelation that could have an apocalyptic effect upon the world. I got to pick and choose them. And this was one of the ones I said, okay, I know what happened. I'm gone. So I'm going to tell you what happened, what I knew instantly because of experience there. And I just know. They're looking for something. They're looking for not just one thing, they're looking for a number of things that have escaped from the vortex through the multiverse. And a couple videos back, when the fire was engulfing the vortex in northern New Jersey, number of very strange places, including the vortex in northern New Jersey, I put it out that the doorway is now blown wide open. God help us. A couple weeks later, there's drones everywhere. Over the vortex, over the Pine Barrens, which is another place that these creatures like to hang out. Down by Trump's house there in Jersey with the golf course. And they're still up there. And of course, you're getting one excuse after another. And it's funny for me to watch. I have been reading that. And, they don't deny or confirm. They just give these things like, well, we don't know, or this or that, or the federal this and that says that, and then the conspiracy theories are all coming up, and most of them are off their rocker. But the ones that know me and know where this is going on, they're well aware of it. So I got a lot of comments on please do a video on the drones. Or please tell us what's going on. Tell us what's going on with the drones. I find it very coincidental that the vortex burns to the ground, blows the doorway open, and a very short while later, there are drones all over the place looking for something. And I will guarantee it because I just came back from the vortex. I was called into action. Who else are they going to call when something like this happens? I had to sign an NDA, non-disclosure agreement, on a federal level. I wasn't allowed to take any recording equipment, camera. I wasn't even allowed to take my phone. Nope. But they needed help. And they needed my help. And I did my thing as best as I could. And then I left. And I came back. And when I came back, I saw the messages. And I'm like, all right, I better just throw something up. So here, I can't say certain things, obviously, because of the NDA. But I can say this. Something got out. And I have seen this personally in my face in January of 1998, roughly around a month before contact. And I'm going to tell you about it. The whole Wanaque Reservoir and all that sits on top of a gigantic alien/DARPA subterranean base that's under there, and this is 100% the truth. And because it's been there forever. It was there before it was Haskell, it was there before it was Wanaque, and the doorway's always been there. The vortex has always been there. That's one of the major vortexes going. But underneath that reservoir is all this. Is all that. It would blow your mind away just like the vortex blows your mind away. I told you they were taking creatures from the multiverse and experimenting on them in that base. under that reservoir. And, well, the fire let them loose somehow. Who knows? You know, fire is very destructive. And this is revelation. So things like this are to be expected. I didn't expect that this was going to happen before the fire. But while the fire was going, I think I even mentioned it on video. You got to watch what escapes from there, what gets out of there. So people are seeing all these drones looking everywhere, and that's only the ones they're seeing. Those they have up there so you can see them. Just like the old fake UFO reports. They want you to see all those drones there while they have, obviously, undercover drones that don't need lights, searching the woods and searching Clinton Road and Wanaque and Haskell and Ramapo and Ringwood and the Pine Barrens in southern New Jersey. And now it's moving out here. So what happened was, without telling you what got out, something got out. And not just one. A whole shitload. And as I've shown you over the years, over the last 30 years, what's back there, I mean, we could be talking dragons, demons, creatures, dinosaurs, which I've shown you the picture of, that I have, a number of pictures like that. And these things got out. So they're searching for them. I was able to give them some information on them, but the one thing that I told them straight out, I said, you know this as well as I do. They're fast. If something gets out of Wanaque, it could be in Colorado in a matter of hours or a matter of days. Undetected, and no one even saw it. So that's why the drones are spreading out now all around the country. But again, the only ones that the ones that you see are fake, are put there purposely to keep your attention. The ones you don't see is the thing you have to worry about. Now, in January of 1998, myself and another person went back to the Vortex area. I didn't discover the Vortex for another month. So I knew it's around, I just didn't know exactly where it was. And a month later, I pinpointed it, as you know. Coffee, I love it. So we went to the back beach, which myself and Devron and the CEOs of World Pharmaceuticals and World Banking and military and government and all have all been there with me to that spot, because Devron's really powerful there and a lot of neat stuff has happened that they saw. And so me and this other guy, we're over on the left, all the way to where the brook is that comes out of the reservoir, and there was a small baseball diamond there with a couple of benches. You know, like at a baseball field, there's like 3 benches. Well, okay, that was there. So it's around 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning, middle of winter, and that's the best time we always went. Didn't matter if it was cold, warm, whatever. But I like the cold because you can really stay awake back there. Sometimes it gets boring. But all of a sudden, the whole mountain range, and I'm going to show you this, facing away from me, got to be about a mile straight from where I was standing to the edge of the terrain, the trail that's up there on top of these mountains, lit up with all out of nowhere, with all these 4x with searchlights on them. And I could make out, because one searchlight hit the other one in front of them, that there was 2 people on each of these 4-wheelers looking for something, like going nuts looking for something. And as we're watching this, and of course you're spellbound at that point, you don't know, you just want to take everything in that you're seeing. All of a sudden, to the left of me, where the water, there was only one building back there then, and we're talking 1998 back there then. There's more now, but the water purification building, a regular building, made out of bricks and stuff like that, cement, opens up like a transformer from a car to the transformer guy. It just opened up, and these giant searchlights came out, the kind they used to use in World War II, looking for airplanes, up in the sky. That big type. There was about 4 of them. Came out of it and were shining the light all on the mountain ridge where those 4-wheelers were, looking for something. It's not just a water thing, and it's definitely not just a plain building. I mean, I saw this with my own eyes. So I went over, I looked at the other guy, I said, I guess we'll just hang out nice and quiet and see what the hell is going on. Because they were far enough away from us, but we could see everything from down in the field. So I sat on one of the benches, and I was looking towards the mountain, and I was also looking towards the bend that the river does at the back beach, and then starts going down towards the vortex. And it's about 100, 150 yards away flat from where I am, and then there's a river about shallow, but about 20 feet across, and then the mountains and woods start right there. All of a sudden, we hear trees breaking, like a gigantic thing was running through the forest or moving through the forest, and it was breaking trees, because the trees, I guess, were pretty dense, oak trees and pine trees, and it was moving, and it was breaking them, and you could hear it, because it's like, by then it's about 1:45 in the morning. We're back there. Nobody else is supposed to be there, so you can hear everything. Nice clear night, cold as shit, but clear. And I look at him and I go, what is that? And he's looking. He goes, I don't know. He's looking. And we're pretty far away, but we're hearing it as clear as day. That's how massive this thing was and how many giant trees it was breaking. And all of a sudden, it let out a roar. A roar so intense that we actually felt the vibration of the sound like 150 yards away from it. It must have been right on the corner. It didn't go into the water, I gather. No, thank God. Otherwise, it would have ate us or whatever it is. And then it moved away because those guys were looking for it. But let me tell you size. I would say it was snapping trees in half, full-size oak trees and pine trees in half that were at least 60 to 80 feet tall. So they got the big trunks. It was snapping them like nothing. And the roar, if you ask me to give you an example of it, because I did have a camera on me, a regular digital camera, but I didn't want to click the flash because whatever it was gigantic and pissed off, and I didn't want it to notice us and then come over and kill us. So, and my VX1000 camcorder was already packed in its hot case in my backpack. So, I mean, at that point, it's just like what's going to happen with Revelation and apocalyptic events. You're not going to be ready. You're just hanging out, having a beer, and next thing you know, everything's going on. So you got to be aware instantly of everything. Now, we didn't hear it again because I looked at him and said, we're getting the fuck out of here. We're not prepared for this. And I didn't know who I fully was at the time or that I was going to have contact in a month. So I figured leave while you're still alive, and that's cool. Now, there is something, now that I look back at it now, and God, we're talking almost 30 years ago, it sounded just like one of the Tyrannosaurus Rex from the Jurassic Park movie. Park movie, you know, when he roars. So here, I have it so you could listen. This is what we heard. And I mean, this is like to a T. Enough to scare the living shit out of you or give you a heart attack right there. Listen. That's what we heard. Except a hell of a lot louder and stronger. And that's exact. I mean, if you put that sound next to the creature and played them, they would blend. So, yeah. I know what can get out of there. And I know how prepared they are to get their hands on things. But basically what happened with the drones is the ones you see are the ones not to worry about. It's the ones you don't see. That's what they're using to search these things out. And they're weaponized, obviously, with weapons that you would not understand. Because we're dealing with interdimensional and then dimensional multiverse creatures and beings. And basically monsters. I don't know how they're able to keep the lid on it. They have a thing on me for the last 30 years on the internet, taking my name off of everything, the United States government, so that this information was only limited. And still, millions and millions of people around the world know about me and know about the Vortex. That's cool. But they can't keep a lid on this anymore. Two things for the last 30 years I've told people professionally as Sargel 18. The two predictions that you don't want to see come true. One, when the United States government admits that there are UFOs, that's when you run. Get the hell away. Because they can't contain it anymore. And you know, in this little bit of talk, I think I forgot the second one. We have the, well, you know, I'm tired. Hold on. Alright. When they announced the UFOs, yeah, there's no script on this. I'm just going free flow. The UFOs. Oh, and the war in 34. The apocalypse will happen in 2034, Lucifer's War. When the government says UFOs are real, that's when you run. You notice you don't hear more about those Tic Tacs anymore, do you? That was just another one of their little things that they threw out there to keep you off balance. Sargel 18 has the mots in this area. All the evidence, all the experience, and everything. And whatever the hell got loose, what's going to happen one day in that area of where the vortex is, I don't want to mention the towns in this, you know, the towns in this video, is one day you're going to wake up and like in a 10-mile radius around it, everyone's going to be dead, torn apart, eaten. I mean dead. Everyone. I hope it doesn't happen, but I haven't missed yet. And if this is part of it, these creatures are multiplying. That's why there's so many drones. I can't imagine that like 3,000 creatures got out. You know, most likely a few. But these few know how to replicate. And they will. And they'll hightail it away until their numbers are big enough. I hope whatever got out doesn't like be swinging on the Empire State Building, knocking down planes or something. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you what I was talking about real quick. Sorry if I went on tonight. I just, I don't know. I just did it. Here, let's see what we got here. This is number one. Okay, what you're seeing here is, well, you see the yellow dot by that building there? That was the only building there at the time. That's the building that opened up and all the searchlights came out. But it didn't open up like open doors. It tilted back. It folded out. It was cool looking. Now, the red dot you see there, a little bit down, that's where I was standing. Right by that little baseball field. I'll show you a close-up at the back beach. And all the lights you see in these yellow lines were all coming out of it, lighting up this mountain right there in front. And remember, I'm seeing this at like 1:30 in the morning in the middle of January 1998. Hectic, man. I tell you, I got some great experiences. I really do. I just want to say before I show you the next picture, thank God I don't have evidence for every single thing, because then I'd be a fraud. There's a lot of dangerous, awesome, cool, scary things that I've experienced with the vortex and all that I really don't talk about, like this one with the creature, the dinosaur creature or whatever the hell it was in the woods, because I had no evidence of it. And Sergeant 18's all about evidence, but hey, this happened. Run me through a test or whatever, my voice. It's the truth. And I got a witness, but that witness is long gone. Okay, now for this one, that's the building. I circled it in yellow. That's the building that folded back. It looks like a water facility with offices and stuff. It's not. But to any other individual coming upon it, it is. That's so cool. Like in the movies. That's what I like about Sergeant 18 too. There's a lot of stuff I do and experience and get evidence of. It's just like you're seeing in the movies. Oh, okay. Now, again, that line that you see up there is the mountain ridge. And you can see that there's this big trail, which I believe is the Appalachian Trail that goes right through it. I told you, the Appalachian Trail goes through the vortex. And then you have the back beach and the creek right there. These other dots. This is the area that there's that building. There's that building. Oh, and the two dots right directly underneath it, that's where contact happened. Right around there. I'll show you again. Hold on. Oh, wrong button. Wow, I'm tired. At least they feed you well. You get fed pretty good by the government. DARPA and them. Now, right here, you can see the yellow dot on the left is where I was standing, where the bleachers were, where I was sitting, where the bleachers were, by that little baseball field. There it is. Now, the river goes down, then it makes a right and heads towards the vortex. Right at that elbow, or kneecap, whatever you want to call it, that's where the creature was. Smashing those trees in that woods. Oh, man, it was hectic. But that's what that looks like. You can go there and look at these areas, but, you know, I don't suggest it. Now, over here, right, you can see now, up on top is where that water place is, and the back beach and the curve and all. And then if you look down, you see the red dot I put? That's the doorway. That's the opening. That's where contact and all this evidence comes from. Most of the evidence comes from right there. It's right in it. These guys know what they're doing. Now, just I've showed many pictures of the creatures under the bridge, and I described the bridge. The columns are 90 feet tall, and then you have the road on top of that and all that. So we're talking about probably like 120 feet, 130 feet up to the top of very top of that bridge. And I'll talk about the bridge in another video. You just wouldn't believe it. You just say, come on. But I have the evidence. I have witnesses. It's real cool. But I want to show you, you see the creatures all the time here. I want to show you what the bridge looks like. Now, I grabbed this picture off the net. I don't know who the person is with the motorcycle there, but somebody took his picture. Now, there it is. Those columns are 90 feet tall. So when I show you a being in relation to this, you get a better idea. Now, if you look all the way back as far as you can go, that's where Lucifer was, and the creatures with the little pets, and the big insect alien was right there. So now you got a better idea, and of course it's at night that I'm doing it, but you get a better idea of how big this is. These creatures are huge, and they're fast, and they're deadly. Deadly. So I'm going to end this video, just a little reminder here, what's in that area and what could have escaped. And God help us if they got to the point of making the two things I'm about to show you third dimensional. Because that definitely can't pan out well. Now you all remember this one. This demonic creature, he was eating orbs under the bridge. 12, 15 feet tall. What if he got out? They'll rip your soul right out of you. They won't eat you. They'll take your soul. Like food. Yep. Because he eats orbs. Or these demons. Oh my God. Look at the size of that. Now you know in relation to the bridge, you see the column there. That head right there is about 40 feet high. So this is what I've been doing the last 10 days or so. Now I'm back. I'll work on it. I know more of what's going to happen, but it doesn't appeal to me to pick every single little thing apart, because there's going to be so much. You already see the left, they're regrouping and all that, and they're getting ready to cause all kinds of chaos under Trump, just like they did before, except Trump this time is going to put them in jail for fucking around. This is about the American people. This isn't about you personally, or your purse, or your belief system. Not when you're dealing with 360 million people in one shot. And keep abreast of the news. And remember, 90% of what you see on television, on the internet, and here, when it comes to news, is a lie. Plain out. Not even a hard thing to figure out. I want everybody to please stay prayed up. Keep your eyes open. Peace out.